I don't think Abby actually spells, so she won't care how you put it. But that's a whole new learning curve for me. I've only just learned how to do art, and I'm going to be putting this together into a book in 2024. Hello everyone, and welcome to the video. Well, my microphone broke the last video, as you may have seen, so I have to do inside videos until I get a new one, which won't be till the new year. So I thought for this video what I'll do is I'm going to answer your questions from the comments. I have got so many wonderful comments and questions from the last two videos, so let's go through. I've got my trusty laptop here with the questions, so let's go through and answer your questions. All right, first question. Abby doing zoomies on the beach. So funny, nice beach, where is it? So that was my last day in my life video, and that was in Torbay, which is in between Albany and Walpole in southwest Western Australia. Another question here, I'm not going to say everyone's name. Can you please tell me if your Hiace is short wheelbase or long wheelbase? I'm at the stage of buying my van in Melbourne. This is from somebody called P Mercedes Mars. My van is long wheelbase, in case you needed to know. Yeah, I don't know what the length difference is between the two of them. Brenna, your artwork is beautiful. Is that Aboriginal art? I have had quite a few comments saying that my art's very similar to Aboriginal, and I do have some material here which is kind of Aboriginal. It is Aboriginal material, and that definitely inspires me. I definitely do like that style. You can also see my material behind me that I really like. So while I wouldn't say it's Aboriginal, it is just what comes into my mind. I'm probably definitely influenced by Aboriginal, and I love dots. I just don't feel it's my own artwork if I don't put dots on it. I so enjoyed your video. You certainly were relaxed and happy. I loved your pondering. Pray tell, where did you get your pen set from? Officeworks or newsagents? So I think this is the pen set you're referring to, and you said that you thought this was really good. I actually did do this myself. It's on the back of the little thing, so I did that myself. I actually got this set from Temu, the website, but you can get these at Officeworks for sure with different brands, and probably even Kmart in Australia. So yeah, there's lots of different places you can get these. They're called fine liners if you want to know, and I did do that myself for my own reference. Beautiful beach. Is it warm enough to swim? That's a very relative question. The water is always cold here in Western Australia, always cold, but is the outside temperature warm enough to swim? It depends where you come from. I remember I spent the last 2 summers in Tasmania, and it's always amazed me, like on one day you'll have people from Queensland walking around in puffer jackets and people from Tasmania swimming in the ocean. So it's all relative. The water is always cold here in Western Australia, always. Someone asks, is Abby A-B-B-Y or A-B-B-I-E? Look, I spell it A-B-B-Y, but I don't think Abby actually spells, so she won't care how you put it. She doesn't really mind. It's okay. So also, this is from John. I think John's in Vancouver, and he asked, was that snow on the ground? No, we don't have snow. No, it's summer here, John. It's summer. Anyway, he's not a big fan of the snow. Neither am I. What type of side wall are you using? Okay, this is referring to my awning tip that I gave. So what I've got is, she said she has one with a sail track. So the sail track, if you imagine your awning, oh, I've got to draw a picture. I'm not very good at this. So all right, let me get a book. Let me try and show you this. Let me just get a book or a piece of something. All right, we'll use this. So imagine this is the awning sticking out, and let's say my head is the van. So there's usually something that goes out this way, and that goes into the sail track. But I've got the side which goes this way, and it's got Velcro straps which go onto the pole. So this is the side bit that I'm talking about. I'll kind of call this maybe the front. So yeah, if I'm the van, that's the front. This is the side. So that's the one that you use, and mine is a it's called Ridge Rider that I got from Super Cheap Auto in Australia, but I don't think they make them anymore, but I think anyone would do. All right, the next question is from Coralie of Jump With No Fear, and when I saw this question I actually laughed. I thought when I did the video, I'm like, someone's going to ask me how I got that. How did you get the froth on top of your coffee? Well, Coralie, I just used this. Is that the right way? Anyway, I use the little sachets and you just add water and it froths up. And it even comes with that little chocolate topping. It even comes with little chocolate topping to go on top. So yeah, that's how I do it. I buy these packets. I don't have cereal anymore, so I don't use milk for anything. So instead of carrying milk just for coffee or tea, I buy these. And it works out 38 cents a pack, and so that's pretty inexpensive, I think. Somebody asking me, how do I celebrate Christmas and other holidays in your van life? If anyone's watching my channel for a while, you'll know I try and celebrate every day. So I haven't really celebrated Christmas for quite a long time. And I just honestly try and celebrate every day, try and be with the people I want to be with when I want to be with them, and if there are people I don't want to be with, I won't be with them just because someone says it's a special holiday. Yeah, and I just try and appreciate every day, share it as much as possible with people I love, that I love them and I appreciate them, and I don't wait for special days. That's how I'm trying to live my life now. With the EcoFlow power station, how long can your fridge last before recharging the EcoFlow again? I get this question a lot about how long does the power station last? How long does it last? There are a lot of variables. Mostly I will say the outside temperature would be the biggest one. Huge difference between a hot day and a cool day as to how long it will last. The second thing I found is it depends on how full my fridge is, which really, again, depends on the temperature outside. If it's a warm day and my fridge is almost empty, that thing will just run right down in one day. If it's a cool day and it's empty, it'll probably last maybe 3. If it's a warm day and it's full, and if it's full with a lot of solid products, it will last again for days and days. So it also really depends how often you open the fridge. How often you open and close it also has a huge influence. I have been staying like in people's houses, had my fridge plugged in and running, and it will go for days and days, even in warm weather, because I haven't opened it. So it's so many variables. It will depend, like I said, so many variables. I can't answer that question. I would say average 3 to 4 days. That'd be my average. This is from Joy Journal 6157. With regards to my art, have you thought, I've got itchy foot, have you thought about doing digitals? I have, and I do intend to do digitals, because I do intend to try and make some merchandise with my art, even just for myself. I would love to make my own hat or a journal or something. But that's a whole new learning curve for me. I've only just learned how to do art. So learning to do digitals will be learning a whole new software and system. So I will put that on the 2024 to-do list. I enjoy seeing your art progress and your style emerge. Is the art piece behind you something you have painted? I think they're referring to this, but no, this is just material I've had in the van from the beginning. I loved it. I saw it in Spotlight. I love it, love it, love it. And unfortunately, I couldn't get it anymore, so I've got another one now. But no, I did not create it, but it definitely inspires and make my creations. Kathy was asking me what temperature, with the air conditioner, what temperature did it bring it down to inside? I do not have a thermometer in the van, and I have that mostly for my mental reasons, because I feel like if I see a temperature, I will think, oh, it's hot or it's cold, instead of just going by, oh, this is how I feel. I can't say what temperature it brought it down to, but it was extremely comfortable in here, very comfortable. I did have one comment here about, from the air conditioner, about how I'm going to put a vent in the ceiling, and they don't recommend that because the condensation will run back into the unit. I'm going to contact EcoFlow and ask them about that. I'm going to confirm that, and I will let you know in a future video when I do another review on how this is going, as to whether that was okay or not. But thank you for letting me know that. That was Elaine Clark, 7508. Elaine, thank you for that comment. I hadn't thought about that, but I am going to contact them and find out. I am going to put a vent in regardless. I was always going to put a vent in this year. In the air conditioner video, sorry, I forget. I've got the camera on the table, and I keep leaning on the table and jiggling it. I'm sorry. You're going to get seasick. In the air conditioner video, was that Abby you spied under the tarp? It was not. I was staying at a hip camp, and that was their little Jack Russell that liked to come up and hang out in Abby's bed. So that was not Abby, but Abby is very good. Thank you very much for asking. Somebody also mentioned about Abby's anxiety, because I have mentioned she has anxiety, and I do believe it's coming with her age. My sister's dog's the same age as having the same things, and it's mostly reacting to noises and wind, things like that, if things are dropping on the roof of the van at night. But I do have some drops for her. I think I have them here. I have the Homeo Pet, and let me cover my face, Homeo Pet anxiety drops, and I give her 10 drops at night on a treat, which she actually looks forward to, and she sleeps like a baby. They're not addictive or anything, it's all quite natural, and she loves them. So yeah, so the anxiety is getting managed better now, thank you. Where did I purchase my fold out stool? I did get mine in Kmart Australia, but I have seen them in lots of shops. Camping shops have them for a lot, and Kmart had mine for like $5 or $6. Somebody talked about spraying the tires and the perimeter of my van with peppermint oil and water to keep mice away. Have I heard of that one? I haven't heard of that one, and I have to say, I'm not too concerned about mice while I'm in Western Australia, because the whole time I was in Western Australia, I only had one mouse, and that was for a whole year. And it's only as soon as I went to the eastern states where I picked up quite a few mice. So yeah, I'm not too worried about mice, and they mostly come in the winter as well when it's warmer in the van. But I haven't heard of that one, and if I need to, I can do it. Patricia Wood 7803 asks, can I get Faye's number? That was my Van Life is Challenging video, and I said how I phoned Faye. She always talks me through everything. Hi, Faye. And Faye said, no, you can't have her number. But everyone needs a Faye. You need to find a Faye. Also from that video, the water looks so clean. What time of day were you there? That was actually middle of the day, and it was a beautiful sunny day, and that water was so crystal clear. It was amazing. With my regards to my outdoor shower, do I stand in a tub to collect your wastewater, or did they allow the wastewater on the ground? That particular hip camp, they did not mind the water going on the ground, but we do ask. So we do ask, do you mind us having a shower, outdoor shower, and leaving the water on the ground? So as long as they say yes, that's okay. Other words, I just wouldn't use the outdoor shower. I just have a sponge bath in the van. Rhonda Ashby 2558 wants to know what breeds of dog Abby is. What mixes her is Abby. I'm not sure I've ever shared that on here. So I actually got Abby from the RSPCA when she was 7 months old, and they said she was Beagle crossed with a Cavalier. And if you've looked at Abby, there's no Cavalier in there. So I got her DNA tested by the vets, where they take some blood sample and then they send it off. And so she came back half a Beagle. One parent was a full Beagle, and then she's got a quarter of Staffy in her, and then a quarter mixed. So I definitely can see the Staffy. She has quite a wide head, and she's got some muscle on her. Her back end is just muscle. And her chest, she's got a lot of muscle on her for a Beagle. But that's what Abby's breeds are. How did I learn to film and edit video? I learned on YouTube. So I actually studied on YouTube how to film and edit for quite a few years before I actually put a video up here, and I did practice a bit and send some videos to my family. But YouTube has everything you need to know about learning to film and edit a video, and also about how to do YouTube. There is everything you need to know on there, and that's how I did it. Somebody asked me, what are the temperatures like in Western Australia compared to Eastern? I would say it is warmer in well, if you think of like, so Western Australia is a state that goes from north to south. If you think of the north, I think the north part of Australia is pretty similar, where it's hot and humid. As you go south, I think the western side is hotter and drier in the summer. The eastern side is definitely wetter over there. We have really good weather here. It's very Mediterranean climate. It's definitely less humid and drier in Western Australia, especially the south half. What job do I have to do on the road? I shared this in a few videos, but you may not know, I actually do still work part-time. I am a bookkeeper. Well, I do bookkeeping. I do bookkeeping and I have my own clients. I used to have a big bookkeeping business with a couple of employees and I just downsized everything. I have 3 main clients now and I still do bookkeeping to sustain myself, really. Somebody asked me, what about showering? And I don't know if you do know, I do have now an outdoor ensuite shower, and that's in my latest upgrade video. Oh, this is a good question. How do I manage condensation issues? I thought about this. Somebody made a comment to me the other day saying, I saw you had a problem with condensation. I don't think I get any more condensation in my van than you get in a house. That's the honest truth. When I lived in a house, I would still get in winter. I would get condensation around the windows. I would get molds around the windows. It's no different in the van. I don't get a lot of condensation. I have everywhere you see wood is insulated underneath it. I will get a little bit on the metal, which if I see it, obviously I can just wipe it with a cloth. But I don't get have any more problem than you do in a house. The only one time I had condensation under the bed was where I was staying somewhere for 3 weeks in winter and I wasn't having the van open, whereas normally my van is open all the time and aired out. So I would say to deal with condensation, insulation is good, and air your van out as much as possible. Just keep everything open and let the air flow. A question here, I don't know if we've talked about this. Do I have a partner and kids? No, I do not. I am single and I have no children. I was married for 7 years in Canada, but that was like 23 years ago. So no, I am a single person. I have no children and therefore I can do what I want. And I do really like it. I do really like it. They do ask, what do they make of your van life? I was going to do a video of what my family think when I did tell them I was going to move into a van. So that may still come, where I asked my mother and my sister about what they thought about that. And Faye, I was going to speak to Faye, which, well, you might get anyway. I'll talk to Faye about it because Faye's known me for 4 years. And she knew me right when I had the plans to move into a van. I may ask them what they think. I didn't really make an impact on what I was going to do. This is interesting. I heard you say you got rid of your outside table. How is cooking and eating outside possible now? I don't cook and eat outside. I don't know how to explain this. So I don't cook outside. I don't eat outside. I'm not on holidays. This is my full-time life. And even when I lived in a house, I didn't cook or eat outside. So this is my same lifestyle. I do as much as possible have the back hatch and the side door open, so I feel like I'm outside, but I have a really comfy bed which doubles as my couch, and everything I need to cook with is within arm's reach. So this is where I usually sit and eat and cook. And so I don't spend a lot of time outside the van. I'm always busy doing something, and it's usually inside the van, but just with everything open. So that's why I got rid of my table. I just wasn't using it. Oh, this is a good question. What do you do when Abby rolls in something which smells absolutely wonderful to her? So lucky for me, Abby is not a roller on stinky stuff. Unlike my dog previous to her, my blue heeler rolled in everything that stunk, especially dead animals when we were out on bush rides. But Abby doesn't roll in stinky stuff. I'm very lucky. So that's not a problem. I actually don't bath Abby at all. She'll go in the ocean, she'll go in lakes, rivers, streams. But I don't actually bath her. I give her a good groom, a good brush. But she doesn't smell and I don't have to worry about it. Would I ever consider van life in another country? Perhaps America or Europe. I could travel the world in theory. I have actually already traveled the world, not in a van. And I actually don't have any desire to go anywhere except for New Zealand. I would love to do van life in New Zealand, and that still may be on the list. If I can't do van life, I may be able to house sit my way around New Zealand, but that will have to wait for Abby to pass away. So when Abby passes away, I have lots of opportunities or lots of options in mind of things I can do. But until then, I will stick to Australia. Oh, this is really good. Have you thought of using laundry sheets? Annie Wise Carver 744. Annie, I got laundry sheets. Thank you for putting that in there, because I had thought about it and forgotten about it. And that comment was 3 months ago, and I bought laundry sheets. So yes, thank you for that. I have laundry sheets and they're really good. Ria_Billy Vlogs. Can I ask what you write and maybe read one? That was from my Van Life Australia winter morning routine, where I started writing in the morning. And I have to tell you, this book is almost full. I have written 132 pages so far. And what I've been writing, I'm actually going to put this together next year and make an adult's book. What I've been writing is all the questions I've asked myself for self-awareness, and little situations and anecdotes that have come up, and how I've questioned my thought process and how I've changed things in my life just to try and improve, just try and be a better person and to try and live happier. So I've been writing all of that down, and I'm going to be putting this together into a book in 2024. Which hopefully I'll get out in 2024. So that's what I'm writing. I still write every morning. Well, actually, I don't write every morning. That's not the truth. I write as much as possible. Maybe sometimes every second morning, especially if I feel like I've got something to write, I write. If I can't think of anything, I'm not forcing it. So yeah, that's what I'm writing about. And yes, she will definitely get to read it. Once I start to refine it and everything, I'll probably will share a chapter or something. I have a question regarding my rock painting. Sorry, I'm shaking the camera again. I'm the worst YouTuber. All right. Sorry. Oh dear. All right. My rocks are gorgeous. Do I put a sealer over them? I do. I have a aerosol sealer that I bought at Shiploads in Tasmania. But yeah, I do seal them for sure. Do I have an email address? Yes. If anybody would like to contact me, the email address is in the description below, but I also put it here across the screen. So please feel free to email me. Unless you've got something horrible that needs to get deleted. But please feel free to email me, and I will respond. Sometimes it may take a little while, probably maybe a week or two at the most, depends what's going on. But yes, if you would like to email me, please do. Is there any chance of listing the places I've stayed, especially in Tasmania? No. I'm sorry, but it's just too much. What I recommend also, I recommend doing your own research. So one thing I've learnt from traveling around for 3 years and people recommending somewhere, you need to take recommendations from people that like the same things that you do. So also the other thing is I travel with a dog and I have a very small van. So it's no good getting advice from people that travel without a dog, because a lot of places they'll recommend, I'll go, oh, I can't take a dog, can't take a dog, can't take a dog. And they go, oh yeah. And also, if I recommend something to somebody and they've got a big caravan, they're not going to get in, whereas it's easy for me. So I recommend doing your own research. Wikicamps is a great one, and I always read the reviews. Read the reviews, they'll give you a lot of information. They'll say, no, you can't get a big van, yes, I turned around easy, things like that. But I won't be able to do a list of everywhere I've been, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This is a good question. Does house sitting for a period increase your appreciation of your nomadic lifestyle? So I've done 2 house sits in the last 3 years, one for my sister, one for my friends, and they're both for a couple of months, and they're both in a city. And yes, I crave to get out and to get back on the road. And I don't really want to do any more long-term house sits in a city. It's not really desirable for me. Am I still traveling? I'm still traveling. I'm just traveling around Western Australia now, and yeah, trying to avoid the crowds over the Christmas period and the January school holidays. But I'll be sharing more about that with you in January. But yeah, definitely still traveling. There's so much to see in Western Australia, so much. And my first year in Western Australia was in 2020, and it was COVID. So maybe it was 2021. And there was COVID. And so all the places I couldn't go to were shut down or whatever. So since then, they've really revamped a lot, which is amazing. There's new places to camp, new places to go. And so yeah, I'm definitely going to be doing a lot of traveling around Western Australia for the next year. So yeah, what other advice? So I did one of my very first videos was my van life confessions. It's not what I expected, which was a very honest video, and it did do really well. And someone's asked me a question on that. What other advice do I have for someone who is thinking of doing this lifestyle? My biggest advice would be embrace the simpleness of life. One of my goals was to live as simply as possible. So start trying to live as simply as possible, and then you can upgrade as you need. So I'll give you an example. I started off for 3 years. I used for my water, I had a jug with one of those plastic taps on, and I bent over to do that for 3 years. And after 3 years, I said, I've had enough. And I've got now the Dometic one with the USB electric, just tap it and the water comes out. But I went 3 years until I've had enough. Another example is with, I think, the internet. So I've recently made a decision I'm going to get Starlink next year. After 3 years, almost 3.5 years, I've had enough of trying to find internet to work, and also especially to upload videos. I need good speed to upload. Like a 30-minute video could take 4 or 5 hours to upload. I haven't got that much time to spend. So my advice would be start as simply as possible, and then build as you need. Then decide what you can't do without. I had no shower for a couple of years. Just try and live as simply as you can. And the second piece of advice I have, which I learned very early on, is if you're going to travel around, do not compare one place to the next. Do not have any pre-existing ideas about what a place is going to be like, and try and appreciate it for what it is and the beauty that it has. Then you won't get disappointed. Then you will really enjoy life. Just really embrace nature, slow down, enjoy where you are, and be present. That is my advice. I think this is a funny question. Am I ever tempted to bake a cake or make a lasagna? If so, how would you do this? I didn't bake a cake or a lasagna when I lived in a house, so no, I don't. I'm guessing that this person would like to bake a cake or a lasagna, and I'm sure there are ways you can do that. You can actually get like camp ovens to go on your burner and everything, but yeah, I don't want to do that. How do I keep cool when it's hot? Now I have an air conditioner. I've been using the cooling mat. I have a fan that runs. That's brilliant. Just run the fan so much and try and go to where it's cooler. That's my best piece of advice. Oh, this is a good question from Anne Lowe 2691. Some of these are going back for quite a few months. How do I film myself walking away from the camera? So some people have questioned, like, am I really alone? How do I do those shots? I have a tripod, and then I put it down with the camera on it. I use my iPhone with the camera, and I have to walk away, and I have to walk past it, and I have to go back and get the camera again and keep going. That's why sometimes it takes a long time to film a video. When you're on your own, it takes a long time. And so sometimes I like to do those shots. I really do enjoy doing them, but they're very time consuming. I'm shaking the camera again. They're very time consuming, but that's how you do it. You just basically walk back and forth. And poor Abby, she's got really used to that, to me, like, I'm going to put the camera, we're going to go through, we're going to go back, we're going to go back. She's got really good at it. Or if I'm stopping to film something, she just sits there and waits now when I've got the camera out. So yeah, it's a bit challenging when you're on your own, but very doable. And there are videos on YouTube that tell you how to do it. About how things are relative to what we're used to. I'm curious about what the temperature is there when you say it's cold. All right, when I say it's cold, that would be 5 degrees Celsius and below. That is cold. Yeah, it depends on the wind chill, but to me, 5 degrees or below, that's cold. That's really cold for Western Australia, really cold. This is a really good question I get a lot about traveling with a dog. Do I find it difficult to find places to stay or visit with a dog? No, I can't go to national parks in Australia, and that's okay with me. But pretty well every caravan park and camping ground these days accepts dogs unless they're in a national park. So it's really easy these days to travel with a dog. Really, really easy. Honestly, it's not a problem. What kind of refrigerator do I use? I have a Dometic or Waco CFX 28 litre, and I've had that from day one, which is going over 3 years, and it's perfect size for me. I wouldn't want perfect size for this van as well. I wouldn't want any bigger in here. It's just perfect. Oh, this is another question in relation to the dogs. Do I feel like I miss out on national parks and other places I can't go with my dog? No, because I just appreciate where I am and what I can do. So yeah, I don't have a fear of missing out. Yeah, it's okay. I'll do what I can do. And I think that I get to see meet more people because of the dog than I would if I didn't. So what I mean is I walk my dog all the time, and I see so much just by walking her around small towns or the bush or everything, which other people aren't doing. They're so busy driving here, driving there. So no, I get to see a lot more, and you meet so many people with a dog, especially other people that have dogs, but it's a good icebreaker. And so yeah, I never feel I'm missing out, ever. And if I really want to do something, there's a way I could work out how to do it, get dog sitter or something. So no, I never have a fear of missing out. My life is amazing, and so no, I have no fear of that. About what retractable lead I use for Abby, the one I use at the moment comes from Kmart. I think it costs about $8. So I've been through about 3. What happens is sometimes they just don't retract anymore. So that's a shame, but they're only $8. So it works really, really well. And it does have the ribbon, not the rope, which I feel better. You're not going to cut someone in half when they run past it. Oh, I'm not sure I've ever talked about this before. Is my floor lino, and how did I install it? Yeah, it is. I just got 1 sheet of lino, and I used liquid nails. And it was challenging because I did it on my own. It was entertaining. That would have been a good video. But I just used liquid nails, and I liquid nailed it down to the plywood. That's it. Easy peasy. And I have rolled mine up the sides. It rolls up the sides because I spill stuff, and that way I don't have to worry about the water getting underneath the floorboards. Are my walls and roof plywood, and how did I install them? Yes, my walls and roof are 3mm plywood. I went the lightest, thinnest I could get because weight's a big issue. And what I've done on the walls is I have battens. I think I've got some pictures I can put up here. I'm not sure if I've shown you before. I have battens that are glued, super glued. Liquid nails glued to the panels, and where possible screwed in, and then the plywood is screwed into the walls. This here is held in. Can you see these screws here? This is the brace that runs across the roof to brace the roof, and these are screwed straight into that. So the brace is underneath here, and so is the insulation. So they're screwed right into that. I did get help to put this up, to hold it up. All right, I think that's all the questions I've got time for now. I think that's everything. We're over 30 minutes by the time I edit this, and that's all you want to hear of me. But thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed it, can you give it a thumbs up? And there's going to be hopefully another video before Christmas, and I've got a few videos coming up. I'm going to talk about my goals for 2023 and how they went, my goals for 2024, and I'm going to share with you all the places I went in 2023. So please stay tuned, and I'll talk to you all soon. Bye.